Peace, people. It's your friendly neighborhood, Imah X, and welcome to the official second edition of Tea Time. I'm so sorry for the wait, dude. Yeah, as an artist, there's a certain amount of perfectionism and procrastination, but enough of that. I just want to get to the issues. So, unless you've been under a rock the past couple of days, a lot of issues going on, specifically in terms of black male entertainers and somewhat controversial topics. So, I'll go in chronological order. Yesterday, Kanye came back. I was actually wondering where Bull had been because he's been surprisingly quiet, but he did not disappoint because back on the scene, he's already making quite a splash because people seem to be upset that he is endorsing Donald Trump. And don't get it twisted, I'm not a fan of the current administration, but furthermore, I'm not really a fan of any of the administrations. It's kind of been the same thing with us in America as far as the past 400 years. So I can't really pass judgment on him because I don't have his lived experiences. I'm not in his tax bracket. Certain things that affect him differently and allow him to provide and protect for his family and to maybe do things to help further certain black causes. He has more dollars in his pocket now to do because of certain tax incentives. So it is a nuanced issue, and it is multi-layered, and it is complex. And I feel like the trap that we fall into is when we tend to treat these things as black and white. Ironic phrasing, but when we tend to see it as a very polar opposite right or wrong issue, as opposed to understanding the nuances in perspective that really allow for our world to be what it is. Kanye, for better or for worse, is at least someone who, from the perception, is trying to be authentic. Now, whether he's in the sunken place, whether this is all a lot of trauma from, his mother passing that he hasn't processed, it could be a lot of manifestations of things. That the thing is, I don't know. We don't know. You don't know. So I'm not gonna sit here and speculate and pass judgment on that man when I'm not in his shoes. I feel like we as people need to much more worry about ourselves and what we're doing with our energy and how we're a part of the solution, instead of looking for other people to be what it should be we that are being. Kanye, a lot of people are disappointed because they looked at Kanye in a certain light, but he's human just like anybody else, and people have ups and downs, and sometimes things break people, but we have a resounding lack of compassion for hurt people. When hurt people do things that we do not like as a society, very rarely is our recourse compassionate, seeking to heal. I'm not saying we should excuse actions of people who hurt people. I just think that those people who are doing the hurting were once hurt people, and we often forget that. We have to, I feel like, getting back to where we direct our energy and neatly transitioning into the Bill Cosby topic. I hear a lot of people celebrating the fact that, he's gonna be imprisoned, and I'm not saying that's not what he deserves within our current societal paradigm. However, I'm always forward thinking. So my concern is, how do we prevent the next Bill Cosby's? How do we prevent the traumas and the mindsets that lead young boys and young women to become abusers and to take their hurt out on other people. I feel like that is a much better use of our energy to discuss possible solutions and programs and mentorship, as far as having tough conversations and really addressing these issues at the root, instead of just celebrating when people get punished but a life has already been destroyed and so forth. And so it's not really justice, it's just sad all around, because at the end of the day, Bill Cosby has a wife, and I feel sympathy in my heart for her, because that's her husband at the end of the day. And she can be flawed for loving him, but humanity in this is an incredibly complex issue, and we really treat it like it's just so one way or the other. And I feel like when we do that, we don't allow for compassion. We don't give space for healing, which I think should be the goal in all of this situation. Rehabilitation over imprisonment. But I can also understand how people feel. A lot of people who have gone through certain things, have been victimized themselves, have known people close to them have been victimized, or have been victims of people who are not within the best state within themselves. A lot of times it's cathartic. It's like a release by proxy for them. So I'm not condemning them for where they are within their journey. I just try to exercise a little bit more compassion. Y'all got mad at Erykah Badu recently when she said that Hitler was a good painter, but he was. And that's not to say that he wasn't also a terrible, horrible person who enacted atrocities. If we're multidimensional beings, why do we seem to have an issue understanding things? Excuse me. Swallowed down the wrong pipe. Why do we seem to have an issue understanding things that are multi-layered? And allowing for multiple truths to simultaneously coexist. Like, the classic one that I think of is nature or nurture. Nigga, it's both. You know what I'm saying? Is this Bill Cosby thing just desserts, or is it racism? Nigga, it's both. Like, I feel like they make it both, so it's harder for y'all to be able to distinguish, because we are so quick to want to put something in a nice, neat bow and category so that we can not have to worry about it. But most things are not that simple in this life. Everybody has light and dark to them. Everybody is out here trying their best, and some people are fragile. We're all fragile. And I just think that we should take more care with each other at every stage, even if we don't deserve it, because I don't know, I just try to always treat people like I would want to be treated in any given situation. And if you are ever not the best of yourself, if you ever fuck up, repeatedly fuck up, as long as you have a desire to make a change, you are not beyond redemption. And not saying that it erases the things that have been done, but you can still do good. So yeah, I'm all for rehabilitation. I'm all for healing. I'm all for unconditionally loving ourselves as Black people, because if we don't, who will? And I can't see this as justice while Harvey Weinstein and other people aren't facing the same level of scrutiny. It's just, I can't not see that. I'm not saying Bill don't deserve what he get, but I'm saying I'm outraged about the niggas who aren't getting what he's getting. I'm more outraged about that than I am celebratory of this situation, because honestly, I feel like the powers that be covered this situation up largely until he was no longer beneficial to them. So it's so much bigger than how it appears on the surface, and I feel like we need to start to delve a little bit deeper in terms of our understanding. And this is Imah X, and this has been Tea Time. Go and get you some. Po up.